Hey. Okay, so I know this is a different setup, and I'm sorry if you don't like this view or seeing my ashy hairy legs. But I look crazy, and I figured you'd be able to see the cards better, and that way I don't forget to show you the cards, because I have been forgetting to do that lately. So anyway, this is going to be a full moon eclipse spread for the full moon in Sagittarius, which we also have a lunar eclipse. It will not be visible to us living in the US. Not everywhere in the world is this eclipse going to be visible, and I believe it is only a partial eclipse. We also have another eclipse, a solar eclipse, on June 21st in the US, and then another one that is the weekend of the 4th of July. So this is the beginning of a lot of energies that are coming in. So I did do a video on my Instagram about what kind of energies you can expect to see playing out with this full moon in Sagittarius eclipse. More related to the full moon in Sagittarius and other aspects, less about the eclipse, because I just know that when there's an eclipse that the energies can affect us for 6 months post shadow. So beyond that, I'm not really sure what added element this eclipse is bringing to the table, especially because it is not a full eclipse. But as I learn that information, I will bring it to you. And of course, there are lots of resources out there, so if you know of any, feel free to share them with me in the comments, because I did reactivate the comments also. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the reading. I'm going to first start with the Quantum Oracle deck. We'll look at what area of life is maybe being brought to the surface for you. And keep in mind, this is for the collective, all zodiac signs. This can resonate with you or people around you. The energy is the energy. We all just deal with it differently. Planning and action. I feel like there is plans taking place, but also plans being reconfigured. Anything else for the collective? We also have stuck energy. So far we have planning and action, stuck energy, and I'm like, the glare from the sun is still making it to where you can barely see it, but planning and action, stuck energy. Anything else for the collective? All right, thank you. Oh, 4 of intention, taking steps, and a creative endeavor. So this could be that timeline split type of thing that's happening, because this feels very this feels like it's together. This feels like it's together. Anyway, stuck energy can represent like you feeling like plans aren't going your way, but there could be change and triumph just around the corner or just over your shoulder. Planning and action, there could be a need to make plans and to get clear about your plans right now, which this is a great time to reevaluate your plans. And we also have taking steps. Some of you could already be taking steps towards something that you want or desire, and a creative endeavor. So they could, I know that there's going to be a lot of changes coming in, but let's just take a look. 8 of energy. Going nowhere. Says here, there's an old-fashioned truck stuck in the mud. A frustrated man sits on top trying to discern how he's going to get it out. Similarly, you are looking at a situation in your life where you feel overwhelmingly stuck and you simply don't know how to change things. Maybe it's a job, maybe you can't leave because of the money, maybe it's a relationship. Whatever it is, it's dishonoring you in some type of way. Perhaps it's maybe you feel like you need to stay, perhaps for your kids, or because you can't make it on your own. Whatever it is, I'm paraphrasing, by the way. You find yourself deeply entrenched that you find yourself so deeply entrenched that you can't move. Yet, take a moment to notice the rainbow and orbs behind the man. It represents the power of your own spirit. The message here is a life lesson from your soul. It's time to know that you do have the power to resolve this seemingly unresolvable situation. Stop and figure out a logistical the logistical steps you need to take. Meditate on the strength of your soul. You always have options, and you are resourceful and capable enough to figure them out. Only you have the power to choose the direction of your life. No matter what you're dealing with, you can get unstuck. So I think Some of you could be just deciding to stay stuck in this energy. It could be, it feels very stubborn, like you just want things to be the way you want them to be. And there's a need to reevaluate the plan and find another way. So let's look at the planning in action. I can very much so see how this relates to current events as well, but keep in mind the energy is the energy. It can resonate with your past, present, or future. So it says, watch a competent pencil lie on a street map. Shows a castle in the distance. It's clear someone is planning a trip or even preparing to run a race. Although your challenge may not be a literal race, this card is telling you to get ready for some major planning and action in your life. It can even indicate a trip or a move. This is the time of acceleration for you. Take advantage of this energy. Make your goal a priority right now. If you need to strategize and make specific plans, be sure to get going on those presentations soon. Then follow up those plans with focused, regular action in the direction of your desire. When you're engaged in this type of devotion, the universe takes you seriously and responds. Gather your thoughts, make your plans, and jump into action. Believe in yourself and allow the energy of belief to move you forward to the finish line. Absolutely. This is, I love this. It's like boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Step 1, you stuck, you want to leave. Okay, so it's time to plan. Figure out a plan and then take actions. Taking steps towards what it is you set your intentions for. And then boom, your goal. Reaching your destination. I love it. Watch, it's going to say just what I just said in a much better way, of course. But let's see. Moving forward. This is this card here. A woman is ascending stairs that lead up to a beautiful sunlit palace. I'm going to read the summary version, which is something that I'm going to make up. This card is telling you that there are some steps you must take to get ready. Sorry. There are some steps you must be ready to take in order to move forward in your to your goals. Now is the time to identify the specific tasks necessary to accomplish your desires. You may have been on this journey for some time, but now you're ready to consider a wider perspective and try a new approach. So it does feel like kind of hitting a plateau or just feeling stuck, like you need a change, and so there's the need to redirect your energy or to strategize. It's a good time to stop and take stock of where you are, how you got there, and which direction you want to go next. Your move forward may concern something personal like a new diet or even mental changes. It could also be moving toward a new job, creative endeavor, or business venture. Perhaps a new place to live, but there's an inner energy at work here. You're preparing to take steps into the unknown, so plan your next move and muster up your courage. You're ready to take advantage. And if you watched that video on my Instagram, you know this is an auspicious time for manifesting. I believe there's also an energy portal opening on tomorrow with the full moon. I don't know how long it's going to take for this video to upload, but hopefully it's up by tonight and you guys can watch it tomorrow. Soul expression. Here we go. This is like being your best self, being whole and full. A fiddle adorned with vines stands upright in the sand along with books, a camera, paintbrushes, and an artist's easel. A beautiful, vibrant river flows by, indicating that new inspiration is coming. This heralds a period of great creativity for you. If you've been thinking about a new creative project, it's time to get things going. If you're already working on such a project, this card is telling you to shift it into high gear. The activities involved in this pursuit may be something personal, like taking up painting or learning how to play the piano. You may even decide to go to school to learn something new. Professional opportunities are also indicated, however. You may open an art studio or even a bakery. There's also great potential in writing, publishing, theater, and music performance or composition. If these or other creative activities are called to your heart, now is the time to take action. Set aside your doubts, share your talents with the world, and express your soul's desire. This card is singing you praises, and so should you. All right, so that's what we have for the oracle. So I think this is like a major layer of what is taking place. I'm going to leave these here and continue to pull cards, and these probably very likely will get buried in the pile. So let's go ahead and keep it moving. I did pull a simple 3-card spread so I can try to keep this reading short, not too long. So we're gonna look at what can no longer be hidden, what you can let go of or release, because this is a full moon. So as it wanes, you can let go. Use that energy to help you release. And then we'll also look at what is getting ready to emerge or transform within your life. All right, what can no longer be hidden? Show me what can no longer be hidden for the collective. So we have Virgo, we have the Hermit card, Virgo energy. So there could be some deep soul searching, some going within, some higher learning taking place. I think while you're in this stuck energy, you probably are really trying to understand, really understand how you get there. I think this frustration is so heavy that you really want to understand, and not in an overly emotional way, but a truly logical, I want to understand so that I never get in this position again. Understanding that higher learning is what this Hermit card is representing for me. Okay, really going deep within. You could be meditating a lot or just spending a lot of time in isolation or alone, which is reasonable since we are still pretty much, well, I know in LA we are, I don't know about the rest of the world, we are still in quarantine technically. Anything else for what can no longer be hidden? Yeah, I think once you go in, you're no longer hiding from yourself. Like, you can see yourself and the truth about yourself, and also maybe about flaws, and maybe how you got yourself in certain positions can no longer be hidden. And the deeper you go within and connect with yourself, it becomes more and more aware to you, or you become more and more aware of it, of these burdens, of where you maybe have taken on too many responsibilities, taken on too many tasks, and maybe slowed yourself down. Anything else? The Sun card just showed itself, but again, that represents, well, not again, but that represents the illumination, the clarity, and also kind of that satisfaction of knowing, the confidence of going forward now that you know what had been keeping you back or holding you back. Anything else for what can no longer be hidden for the collective? This is 2 cards. So the King of Fire, King of Wands, and Judgment. Pluto energy. So yeah, I think you are having a real truthful moment with yourself. You're no longer lying to yourself. You're very determined. You have a lot of goals, but maybe you have been unrealistic about how to obtain them. You may have lied to yourself or tried to manipulate the system or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you thought you could use cheat codes, or you know, take a shortcut, and it ended up only making you get stuck. So now you're having this moment where you understand that behavior is not going to work. I feel like some of you may have thrown a huge tantrum, like a cussing fit, just really rageful fit, or you could just be feeling really imbalanced or angry. That could be that frustration that you feel is just extremely overwhelmed, because these cards did come out in the reverse. And then with Pluto here, judgment here, I think you do want a second chance. You want another opportunity with this 2 here, with the planning and action. It gives me 2 of Wands energy. So you do want a chance to come back to the drawing board and try again and re-strategize and figure out a better way. But I think for the moment, a lot of you are so stuck in this frustration, and the only way you truly come out is if you go through this judgment energy and you really address yourself in a way that you can review the past without beating yourself up and like going into like a depression about it, or throwing a fit and like taking it out on other people around you, or being overly controlling or domineering or something like that, or even abusive, verbally, physically, any of that, because you can't have your way, or you can't get what you want the way you want it. A lot of you could be feeling regret as well But this is about karma. It's about destiny, and it's about you understanding that you've been in this position before and you don't want to get here again. So you're trying to figure out what the burden actually is, what the obstacle is that you keep falling into, because it's pissing you off at this point. So anyway, it's reflection on the past. You're really reflecting, you're going really deep, and getting to a point where you can be truthful with yourself about what's taking place, and you can correct your behavior. You're gaining awareness. You're going through an awakening. You're becoming aware. And you're realizing how to correct the mistakes of the past to avoid falling into the same traps, falling into, you know, getting stuck in the mud again, and consequently experiencing this frustration and this anger. A lot of you could have been extremely arrogant, or just lying to yourself and pretending like things weren't as bad as they were, or like you didn't need to make a change, and now you realize, okay, I'm not actually going anywhere, so I have no choice, is how this feels. So you could be frustrated, but you're like, you gotta do what you gotta do. So it is what it is. Let's look at planning and action. Well, not necessarily. That's not how this was going, but let's look at what you can let go of. What can the collective let go of? What can the collective let go of? What can the collective let go of? I think refusing to cooperate, like being stubborn or having unrealistic expectation when it comes to working with other people, or skill building, or even just building a foundation of some sort, with the Three of Earth and the reverse. It's very impractical in the reverse. Give me 1 second. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this card. The Three of Pentacles in reverse is like not wanting to work with other people, missed opportunities, or just being lazy, having no patience, wanting things to, like, even that cutting corners type of energy is how I feel. So, and I think it does definitely go hand in hand with this planning. Maybe you tried to cut corners in the past with your planning, and now you need to be more thorough, because Three of Earth is representing hard work, like making progress in skill building. So this is not doing that. Let's see what else is playing out. What you need to let go of. What needs to be released or let go of. What needs to be released or let go of by the collective. All right, we have the Knight of Air. Maybe expressing or speaking on anxieties or fears, like putting that out into the atmosphere, like putting it out into the universe, speaking your fears into existence, or acting on your fears, or making fear-based decisions or statements, or allowing your thought process to be around fear, because people start getting controlling, like these two cards would be in the reverse. People start getting controlling and domineering when they feel fear of lack of control, or they feel fear of loss of control, or they feel the need to be in control because they lack faith, which is going to be triggered at this time as well. So making decisions based on that energy, speaking on that energy, allowing your thoughts to even fester or permeate in that energy, like shut that thought down eventually, because I think it leads you to be like snakish, especially if this is a work environment type of situation. Like you could be really manipulative trying to get your way because you're afraid of not having it. So to avoid, you know, that fear of failure, you'll just do whatever you have to do to get it. And I don't like that. It's not good energy to be in. With this Knight of Swords, Knight of Air, it represents momentum, like being it's like fearless, but I think it's like fearlessly or swiftly acting on fears. It's like, it's really an oxymoron. It's hard to explain how I resonate with this, or how I feel about this. But anyway, it does feel a bit aggressive. And it's like, yes, defending your position, but also coming from a place of anxiety and worry and fear. This could also be something that's keeping you up at night, bringing a lot of insomnia or stress into your life, or even just draining you mentally. Maybe this is surrounding you making your plans, or when it comes to teamwork and collaboration, or just in general, acting and speaking on your fears is something that needs to be let go of. You could have a reaction, or this feels like Eight of Swords a little bit together, like, but on steroids a bit, like overreacting. You could have a habit of overreacting, or even underreacting, like not doing enough or doing too much. It's kind of how that feels as well. But it's also, there's a lot of fear. It's like you're standing up for your beliefs, but your beliefs involve fear and repression, and they don't allow you, or don't, like, something about it is not allowing you to work well with others or be productive. You're not growing. There's no growth taking place. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of mental activity. But this Sagittarius energy that's coming in, and this Neptune energy that's coming in, is going to help you get out of that cerebral Gemini. Let's see if anything else, or actually, let's clarify. Let's pull a clarity on all of these, actually. Let's look at the Three of Earth reverse. Lack of teamwork or growth. Show me more about the Three of Earth reverse. Thank you. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, there's something that's imbalanced or uneven. You could be taking advantage of someone, or someone could be taking advantage of you. This could be an unequal situation that involves give and take. Either somebody's taking too much or giving too much. Overly generous or underly, or overtaking. You know what I'm saying? This could involve, again, the workplace. This could be just in general. You could be realizing that somebody hasn't been playing fair. This could play out with the government shit that's going on as well. This could resonate many ways. Anything with growth. Thank you. Pay attention. Just pay attention to everything. Ask questions. Yeah, ask questions. Pay attention. Find close detail. This could also represent you watching someone, or someone watching you, or being watched. But I think this is the need for you to pay attention to either your funds, the exchange of energies, if you are involved in a charity or something like that, if you've made some type of donation to some type of organization of some sort, you may want to watch where you donate, or who you donate to, who you spend your time, energy, and effort on, because there could be an energy taking advantage of another. Let's look at the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Air. Knight and Nine of Air, please. Knight of Air. Thank you. Four of Swords. That is a resting energy. Or at least a needing to. Maybe this is a bit restless. Maybe this is the restriction that you feel that you don't want to feel, because this is like pre-hermit with the Four of Swords. Anything else for Knight of Air? The Lovers. There's a need for you to rest and get aligned, I think, instead of acting, because the Knight is about action. I think there is a need to pull back, relax, to ease your mind, to rest, either go on some type of vacation or reach some type of alignment within. I don't think this has to do anything with another person. I think this is just about you making better decisions for your future and doing things that reflect alignment and self-love. And with the 4 being here, it is one of those cards that are about balance. So yeah, you need to get more balance in the mind space and make better, and you'll then be able to make better decisions for your future. You need to balance this anxious energy out. Get rid of that. Show me this 9 of air. Yeah, there's some shadow work that needs to take place, because it's creating either indecisiveness or a refusal to see everything for what it really is. With the Devil card being here, there's either fear to see things clearly, or fear of making a decision, fear of being having the responsibility of making a decision, being held accountable. There's so much worry, so much stress, so much fear. And again, this is just all in your head. There's a lot of shadow work that needs to take place. This is the Devil card here with the shadow side. And then Moon and Libra with the 2 of Swords. So this is very indecisive, very imbalanced, very restricted, oppressive, obsessive, addictive. So it's like you're caught, it's addictive. You're caught in this cycle of this chaos, and it's like you don't know how to live without it, but there is a need to detach, to pull back, to unplug, and to create mental balance and peace of the mind so that you can make better decisions, because right now you're plagued and crippled with fear and worry and stress and oppression and drama and chaos and disorder and restriction, and it's keeping you up at night, keeping you stuck. So you need to pay attention to your thoughts, the way you communicate, ask questions to people who are around you. And I think maybe some of you have been refusing to work with others. Maybe you've refused counseling, or you've refused therapy, or you don't want help from certain people who are who have the credentials to help you. Maybe you just don't want the help, but that's going to help you with your plans. There's a need to get balance in the mental space so that you can make better decisions. There's a need to release fears and worries and stress, and also just lacking accountability and responsibility, like saying the first thing that comes across your mind. Also, spiritual beliefs, or just belief systems in general, are going to be something that is surfacing for the collective. So there may be beliefs that you need to let go of, and it could be beliefs that are based in fear again. So figure out where that fits for you. All right, let's look at what is getting ready to change for the transformation aspect. What is getting ready to change for the collective, please, Divine Spirit? Oh, wow. Ooh, the Lovers, Gemini energy, Strength, Leo energy, and 5 of Air, Venus and Aquarius energy. This gives me an energy of detachment, because it's kind of like accepting defeat, but also just realizing that something is just not for you. That realizing that you haven't been defeated, it just doesn't align with who you are, and you're able, like, once you can accept that something isn't for you, or that you've been in the wrong lane, playing the wrong game, you know, the wrong role, and it's like, you know what, this isn't even for me. You can walk away from it so swiftly, so easily. You can have the courage to do that. You can have the strength to do that with the Leo, with the Strength card here, Leo energy, and Gemini, the Lovers. Again, so this is alignment. Excuse me. I think there is a lot of alignment coming into play here. I think this is speaking to the awakening process with the Lovers here. It can represent romance or relationships, but I think it's like making a commitment to yourself, and making a commitment to not one, to not lose, but also to not get so caught up in, like, knowing how to pick your battles, and not getting so caught up in resistance, because it's like when you pick a battle with everything and you want to fight to the end, you miss out on opportunities like this Three of Pentacles here. You miss out on opportunities, and then you have to go back to the drawing board, or you get stuck somewhere because you either resisted help that was available to you, or you stayed in a situation too long that what you weren't gonna win in, but you had too much pride and you want to let it go. You didn't want to walk away while you had the chance, so now you get stuck. So you are coming to this realization of what is keeping you stuck, or where you're reaching the dead end, or where you're hitting a brick wall. You're having the courage to make better choices for your future. That's bringing in a lot of alignment for you. You're making decisions from a place of love, knowing when to hold back, knowing when not to exhaust all of your energy in this game, in this one situation, this one either moment of defeat or conflict or situation where you just may either not have had enough pride or too much pride. Just represents choices that are, there's a strength or the courage that you need to make a choice about something. And I think this is the situation, the scenario. You need to make the choice or decision to walk away from something that isn't serving you anymore. Releasing those belief systems, and then you can reach alignment. So let's see what the Five of Air is. Even though these came out in this order, I feel like it's going the opposite way. Show me the Five of Air, please. Thank you. Five of Cups. So there could be some, there could be some emotions that you need to let go, some thoughts that you need to let go of. I think this is definitely speaking to the belief systems, because you're emotionally tied to them. All is not lost. It's like you just need to keep the core of who you are, but there's a lot of old shit that you're emotionally attached to. A lot of old thoughts, beliefs, old lies, things that you believe that are truths, that may be truths, but they don't necessarily resonate with this frequency that we're in or heading to. So it's like, yeah, okay, it's the truth, but it's like decades old truth. Like, it doesn't matter for now or the future where we're going. There's a lot of change coming in. We have two fives here. So a lot of emotional change, a lot of mental change. Your thought process could be changing. The way you act and the way you think and the way you speak could be changing. And I think this is just having the pride to let go and to release these emotions and these thoughts. With the Five of Cups being here, again, all is not lost. There is some emotional support left here for you, friendships or families. Like, you may be losing some relationships or some beliefs, but not all of them, you know. The Wheel of the Year is here, Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy. Jupiter is bringing good luck and fortune into your life. It's bringing in a lot of happy energy and expansive energy. A lot of change. It's also divine timing. So it's like once you work through this energy, the time for this beautiful Jupiter energy comes in. I love that. Anything else for Five of Air? Thank you. Queen of Wands. And I think this is just representing you. Feeling more powerful, feeling more exuberant, feeling more confident, more attractive, more creative, more free, because it's a very free energy. I believe this is Sagittarius. If not, it's fire, Aries, Leo, Sag. Just more exuberant, more fiery, more feisty, more creative and sensual and beautiful. Just feeling at the top of your game, really stepping into your personal power, feeling like the real you, feeling like your true self. Maybe for some of you for the first time ever. Show me the Lovers. Thank you. Yeah, I think there's definitely a decision. You're prioritizing what's more important to you now and what's important for the future. Not just what's important right now, but Pentacles is the slowest energy. This is going to take the longest to manifest. And Gemini energy, or the Lover's energy rather, is thinking ahead of the game, like thinking years down the line, like I'm going to make this decision today, but how is it going to affect me 2 years from now? So you could be thinking about that. And again, we're going to be in North Node Gemini for 2 years. So I don't think that's ironic either. So I think a lot is changing. You're reprioritizing during this period and making changes for your future, and making them from a love-based place and not a fear-based place. It's taking a lot of courage to do that as well with the Leo Strength card here. Show me the Strength card. Thank you. King of Wands came out sideways. So I think it may be I wouldn't say difficult. It may be kind of a couple steps forward, a couple steps back with this energy, with your progress with the King of Wands coming out like this, because you're very determined, and there could be a lot of uncertainty, and that could be frustrating for you. You could also just have some fire aspects in your chart playing out, or the Mars energy, because it's going to bring about maybe fits of aggression, or there's Mars is square the sun, moon, and oh, I don't want to lie, there's a square aspect of Mars though, so that could be triggering you, making you feel like you want to go off, or you know, making you feel frustrated or angry or impatient with this progress, or with the way this thing is playing out or taking place or whatever. You could be holding this all in with the Strength card here. You could be holding back a lot of frustration. The King of Wands is very determined though. This is a person who gets things done and does not give up. But you could be tempted to fall back into old ways, so be mindful of that, or fall into arrogance. This is Leo energy, yeah, so you could be dealing with the Leo. Some of you maybe, I don't know. It could be arrogance or greed as well if it's in the reverse. You could be feeling very self-centered or selfish, so be mindful of that. Otherwise, I think it's a very outgoing and charming energy, very generous. You could be enthusiastic and looking out for other people. This could also be a mentor in your life. We have masculine and feminine energy of the same suit, so we have a perfect pair with the King and Queen of Wands and the same deck at that too. So I think a lot of alignment is coming to play. Some of you could be merging together with a counterpart, since the Lovers is here twice. But again, this could just represent your alignment on your own. And then this is just what is coming once you work through this energy. So let's see what the Sacred Destiny Oracle has for you. And then I'll pull a Work Your Life Oracle card as well. Any messages for the collective? The Sacred Destiny Oracle. Two cards, Wisdom and Courage. I love that. Beautiful cards too. I don't think I pulled either one of these cards. We have a story looking, she looks like a constellation, but she's a mermaid. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, she's definitely a constellation mermaid. And then we have Courage. Now we know this deck has the beautiful sacred landscape, so let's see what the breakdown is of both of these cards. I'm going to go ahead and read the whole thing. Depths of the sea. The surface of the sea can be choppy and turbulent, but when we sink down into the depths, and our surroundings are completely different, often there's a stillness below. In other cases, the surface of the sea might be placid, yet down in the liquid blue are the myriad of creatures and variety of seaweeds. A vast community of creatures is eating, mating, giving birth, and dying. What we see on the sea's surface has very little to do with what is occurring below. That speaks volumes. I'm going to read that last part again. What we see on the sea's surface has very little to do with what is occurring below. Apply that to what's going on in the world today. The sacred landscape wants you to know that things are not as they seem. Look beneath the surface in your life. For example, you might feel that you aren't making any progress. You aren't making progress on a particular project, yet beneath the surface things are happening, or you might be going through a stormy cycle. This card is letting you know that even though the surface of your life may be a bit rocky or wobbly, in a deeper place, all is well and serenity and peace are emerging. Things that may be challenging will later be revealed to have been beneficial. That's where you at. We got Saturn and Sagittarius right here, so definitely some Saturn energy playing out as well. I love that. So let's look at courage. I think it's creating courage or teaching you courage at the very least. We have rocky seashore. I hope y'all can see that. The waves crash again and again on the rugged rocky shore, and yet these ancient rocks face each storm with strength and fortitude. They are strong beyond measure. When the waves are gentle, they stand strong, and when the great storm arrives, they remain strong. They never falter. This card signifies that an enduring, everlasting, passionate courage in depth of your being is arising. In the depth of your being is arising. There is nothing that there is nothing that you can't confront and face. You are a warrior of the light. Step forward and throw your shoulders back and stand up for yourself with passion. Speak up for those less fortunate. Be impeccable in all your actions. This isn't the time to be timid and pull back. Don't be limited by the beliefs of others. Use your passion to make a difference. Courage doesn't mean that you aren't afraid. Fearless means fear less, meaning less fear, or don't fear. Acknowledge your fear and take action anyway. Make a stand. You are strong and powerful and have great valor within you. Lots of that Leo energy that I was feeling. I think that fire is needed. I think a lot of you are figuring out how to transmute your energy. You may feel a lot of frustration or anger, and I think you're channeling that into your creative energy, because there's a lot of creative energy at play as well. And I think if you are able to successfully channel that energy, you will make leaps and bounds with your progress moving forward into what it is that you truly desire for yourself. I'm going to get a Work Your Light card, and then we'll get a Crystal Ball Oracle card, and we will end this reading. Any Work Your Light advice for the collective? Any messages for the collective? I like that one though. The crumbling. Ooh, what are you clinging? I gotta take those. This reading is just gonna be long as hell, but whatever. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Look at that. Does that not look like the Tower? Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution. Expression. And unbound. Releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. To all of that. Needed to move forward. The crumbling. And I feel like this crumbling is happening on so many levels. 40. So this is asking you, this is an inquiry card. So this is something for you to ponder on while you're in hermit mode. There's a shift happening right now where anything inauthentic can no longer survive. Relationships, jobs, social structures, anything built on shaky ground is destined to tumble down. It's happening to bring you back home to who you truly are, both individually and socially as a whole, so you can live a life that is in alignment with who you truly are. The Lover's card, that Gemini card. When you're in the thick of it, it can feel like a personal attack from the universe. Have faith, because the difficult times will be your defining moments. You will be reborn in the fire. All that fire, all these difficult defining moments here, you will be reborn in the fire. You are being called to surrender. Stop trying to hold it all together. Loosen your grip. Let the crumbling occur. It may be difficult at first, but in the end, the sooner you let go, the sooner the rebirthing will occur. What are you trying to hold What are you trying to hold together? What are you doing your best to avoid? How are you trying to pretend everything is okay? You have what it takes to allow what is falling away to tumble and fall. Once the tower has crumbled, you will be able to rebuild your home on solid ground with mighty foundations in a view that is so magnificent that it will take your breath away each new morn. Kali, the goddess of destruction, and the Black Madonna are with you now. Lay it all on their altar. They can hold it all. What are you clinging on to for fear of nothing coming to take its place? That is something for you to inquire and ask yourself to bring this to light. I think some of you already know what that thing is, like what it is, and you're just trying to figure out how to overcome that. Some of you haven't identified how you keep getting to this stuck energy. And you continue to lie to yourself and have denial, and it's like you're throwing a fit, and instead of making changes, you're like, no, I want my way, like a 2-year-old that's just throwing a tantrum. And that's just not how it's going to work. So there's a need to surrender and give in to really have change and growth. All right, let's look at Share Your Voice. 76, this is an action card. All right, share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. A lot of creative energy here, so you are being called to play your part, to play your role. We all have a specific part that only you are here to do. So it's time for you to step into it and be true to yourself. And instead of resisting by being stubborn and throwing a fit, you could just thrive and be who you are really meant to be. You know what I mean? All right. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, but we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced, or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. Yes, that part. I'm sorry, I'm showing you the wrong card. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. Express yourself. Share your light. Speak to those who can hear you. Yes. Finding your soul tribe. All right, let's look at this Unbound. I love it. I love it. I love it. Unbound. This is an activation card, 108. Sorry about the choppers in the back. All right, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. It's time to release old stories that have been playing out in your life. They're coming up to be healed. There's never been a safer time to clear these patterns than right now. Take a look at patterns in your life that you are ready to release. Ancient vows and contracts that your soul made that have an expiry date. It could be a vow of silence or chastity or poverty. It is time to unwind from them. This is the life in which This is the life in which you free yourself from trauma of lives past. What old ways of being have an expiry date as an expired? When you name them, when you name them, you claim them, and they stop holding power over you. When acknowledging these old patterns, it is also important to acknowledge how they have served you up until now. For example, a soul pattern of playing small caused by a soul fear of being seen or sharing your voice would have served you by keeping you safe. In order to grow, you now need to soften by receiving and calling in support. It's time to unbind from the old ways of being that are no longer sustainable. I release old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, forever unbound. That's an activation that you can use to help invite that energy into your life. All right, at this time, I'm going to invite you to pause the video as I take a crystal ball oracle card and, excuse me, you can ask your question, and when you play, your answer will be ready. All right, go ahead and pause. Please give me the answer for the collective's question. All right, this is the sign. Oh, I hate that you can't see it. This is the sign. All right, I hope that was helpful. Hopefully that answered your question. If not, I'm sorry. There was a lot of energy that came up in this reading. I can definitely see how it's playing out in the collective in certain ways, and I'm definitely gonna have to come back and watch it to apply it to my own personal life. But I hope this was helpful. If you like extra insight, I am available for personal readings. I do ask that you give me a little bit more time than typically quoted during these crazy times right now, because one, I'm getting more bookings than usual, and also I need time to process things and prepare myself. Again, I hope this reading was helpful. Please check me out on Instagram, as well as checking your zodiac signs. There's more zodiac sign readings coming for the month. And until next time, peace, love, and light. Bye.